Hey everyone, Matt here from Docs Running, and today we're going to do a full review of the Hoka Mach 6. So the Mach series has always been Hoka's lightweight training shoe that's also doubled for many people as a racing shoe. I will be honest with you that version 4 was something that was okay. It was something I could do some up-tempo stuff, but it wasn't the best shoe out there. Version 5 was a dud. The foam was not fun, not responsive, and just was not exciting, and I honestly gave that shoe away as quickly as I could. Version 6 is the first Mach that actually feels like a faster shoe. It's been really fun. The foam is EVA, but it's got a good amount of bounce to it in a controlled way. And I will finally say, as I mentioned earlier, if you want a non-plated, non-super shoe racing shoe, this is going to be a great option for you to consider over longer distances. So let's talk about what this shoe is, who it's going to work best for, and we'll start with some specs. So men's size 9 is coming in at 7.4 ounces. Women's size 8 is coming at 7.6 ounces, 37 millimeters in the heel, 32 in the forefoot for a 5 millimeter drop. It does not feel that high stack height, but it did great during a long run this morning when it went 15 miles and totally plenty of cushioning, didn't bottom out, felt really, really good, even pushing the stroller for that whole time. I've done a tempo run and some shorter intervals that felt really good. A lot of these kind of shoes don't always feel good going really, really fast. Dave and I have talked about how sometimes a little more flexibility can help. This isn't actually that flexible. It's a little stiff, even though there's no plate, but it still feels great. And it's felt really snappy going during the tempo run. It felt really snappy during the faster runs, and then it felt great and smooth going through the long run. The reason why is the geometry is really good. It's one of the best use of geometry I've seen in a Hoka shoe. The bevel is posterior lateral. It is a really smooth heel bevel, no major posterior flare, transitions through a decently wide midfoot into a forefoot with a very, very good forefoot rocker. So very smooth rocker ride despite how nimble it feels. The midsole does have some bounce to it, even though it's EVA. This foam seems to have more resiliency. And again, when you're not pushing it, it feels fine. When you do push it, I can feel the foam compress and bounce back. It's a really, really nice ride, and Hoka have done a great job with this. So if that's something you like, it's really good. The other thing that's interesting to me is someone who needs some mild stability. It feels and reminds me like a higher stack fast twitch. The way the midsole is set up, there's a gap here. So there's a little bit of guidance on the medial side, plus there's a really nice sidewall right here on the medial side and a sidewall on the lateral side. Both forefoot feels stable, midfoot feels stable, heel feels nice and guided. So if you need a stable neutral shoe in a faster shoe, this is going to be a really, really good option. It did great. I didn't feel fatigue over 15 miles in this shoe. It's done really good. So again, one of the rare lighter weight shoes, if you need some mild stability or stable neutral stuff, this is going to work great. Great ride, great midsole. The upper is where things change a little bit, where it does fit like a racing shoe. Very snug, very low volume, and almost feels a little bit short. If you want to do longer races or longer workouts in this shoe, I am going to encourage you to consider maybe a half size up in this shoe. Over my long run, felt a lot of pressure on the front of my foot. Didn't fortunately have any bruising or issues with my toes. I noticed there was pressure the whole time. Felt the same thing on the tempo. Didn't feel it as much on the intervals because you're kind of expected to have a little more close shoe. But people that have narrower feet, this is probably going to work a lot better for you. People that have normal width feet, if you want a snug ride, this is going to do really, really well for you. If you have a wider foot, you might struggle with this just a little bit. I cannot remember if they do wides with this one. Please, somebody put that below if they do, but it does fit snug and a little bit more narrow. People that want a more kind of a more width, you might want to consider going up half a size. But overall, this is a great upgrade. It's much faster, it's much lighter, and I feel like finally lives up to the Mach name. So if that's something you're interested in, you want a racing shoe that's not plated or doesn't have a super foam in it, you want something that has some cushioning but still feels super nimble and works really great for speed work, this is a great option for those that can fit into it. Hopefully that helps. We'll have a full written review soon. In the meantime, come back and hope that helps.